Welcome to this niche tutorial on the Achievement Annex. I am Hélène Bernot-Ullero, a Program Administrator at the Capacity Building Department at NAFIC.
My name is Ilundi and I'm the Team Coordinator and Senior Financial Officer at the same department. We hope that at the end of this tutorial you will find the Achievement Annex a clear and easy to use instrument.
What is the objective of the Achievement Annex? This is the instrument that NAFIC uses to regularly show the achievements of the niche program to the stakeholders.
Not only the Dutch government and taxpayers, but also, for example, your Vice Chancellor or Rector, the Ministry of Education, and the Dutch Embassy. If you hesitate about which data to include, remember for whom the Achievement Annex is intended. The stakeholders of the projects and of the program. So how do you want to present your project to them?
You should not expect to capture your whole project in this instrument. This is an instrument for collecting quantitative data which will be aggregated. The qualitative data will be collected in your progress reports. Since the Achievement Annex has been introduced, it has been simplified many times. You will find the latest version on the website. If you're working on an older version, you're welcome to continue, although we encourage you to transfer your data to the latest version, which is more user-friendly.
To allow for aggregation, the data from the individual projects must be correct and consistent. They must be the result of a good dialogue between both partners. This is never the responsibility of one or the other.
Don't list activities in this document. Don't list each individual workshop or session, but list the topics of the trainings. For example, for a training course, fill in the title and the number of participants who successfully completed the training.
You are accountable for all the data you include in the Achievement Annex. This means that an auditor must be able to verify that what is reported has really been achieved. This is your responsibility, and we rely on your expertise as project implementers. We will now walk you through the whole instrument. The Achievement Annex is a collection of sheets with a summary page. It starts with a summary showing expected and implemented achievements of the project.
Before proceeding, we want to show you the end of project sheet, which is the last sheet. This is where you are invited to share any additional qualitative information about your project which has not been collected in the previous sheets. The reason for showing you the end of project sheet now is that you might want to start collecting the relevant information from the start of your project. Unlike the others, this particular sheet allows you more freedom to elaborate on the successes of your project.
For this presentation, we are using the latest version of the Achievement Annex. If your Achievement Annex looks different, you're using an earlier version. Please note some of the sheets have been renamed. Let's go back now to see the underlying sheets.
Data collected in the sheets staff training, curriculum development, research, infrastructure, and management are the quantitative achievements of the niche program as a whole. And then we have the sheets for gender and labor market, which provide data on these specific cross-cutting themes. Please note, the data in the first 5 sheets can be duplicated in the gender and labor market sheets. Let's zoom into the summary page. At the top of the page, start by filling in your project information, which can be found in your grant letter. This information will be replicated automatically on each sheet.
You don't need to fill in the first calendar year of the project and to date and sign the Achievement Annex anymore, as previously required.
The famous pink column is the list of the achievements that you plan at the start of the project together with your partner. These data are aggregated by NAFIC as the planned achievements at program level. You may use the pink column as a practical checklist to discuss what is expected and what can be delivered. And you will fill this column only once.
And never touch it again.
But what about changes later on?
Yeah, of course, there will be changes during the course of the project. This is what the yellow column is for. Each year you can record your changes in the yellow column. Please note, if a change has an impact on one of the outputs, you must ask NUFIC. In these two columns you must enter only numbers. No yes or no or to be determined, as those cannot be aggregated.
Be aware that the pink column communicates what you intend to do with your project. It may be a challenge at the beginning of the project to have to plan in such detail, but remember, a 0 in the pink column communicates you are not intending to achieve anything on this aspect.
The grey cells will automatically be filled out as you record your achievements in the underlying sheets. The staff training sheet is about capacity development for the staff of the requesting organization. This used to be called scholarships, but it was not very clear for whom the scholarships were intended.
What we're talking about here is scholarships to the staff of the requesting organization, not to the students. For options SC01 to SC04, diploma, bachelor's degree, master's degree or PhD, write down the names of the individual candidates. For SC05, which is non-degree training for groups or individuals, write down the name of the individual scholar or target group. For example, a course on laboratory maintenance will target laboratory technicians.
But Hélène, what is a course? Is that a workshop or a session on financial management or a study visit to the Netherlands to look at the dikes?
No, a course is a training unit for a specific target group. You must be able to give it a title. Don't list the individual sessions or modules of a course. These are activities and we don't want activities.
But what if the participants change during a course? How many do you count?
You count all those individuals whom you consider to have completed that course successfully.
So if a staff member has participated in 5 different courses, do you then count her 5 times?
Yes, you will count her 5 times because she has completed 5 different training courses, and this is what we count.
Now let's demonstrate in the sheet. So if we see here in the filled in achievement annex, these 2 master students, once they have completed their masters, they will appear in the summary page right here.
The curriculum development sheet was previously called education. It is about training courses or programs improved or developed by the project. This is training targeting the students, not the staff.
But Hélène, what do you mean by improved?
I mean substantially improved. Use your common sense. Broadly speaking, EDO1 is non-degree curriculum and EDO2 is degree curriculum. When filling out either EDO1 or EDO2, write the number of curricula, either improved or developed. In EDO3, you fill out the number of students attending these curricula, including the gender.
But do I have to wait till they have completed the course? Because that might not happen during the project.
No, EDO3 is considered completed at the moment when the students register to the course.
Ah, okay. Please be aware, if you have an earlier version of the achievement annex, you might have categories that have since been removed, for example, EDO4 and EDO5. Here you see an example of achievements in the curriculum development.
The research sheet is very interesting because there is always so much more to fill out here than project implementers are aware of. projects underestimate their research achievements.
Like what, for example?
For instance, each staff member on a master's degree will write a thesis, and this is an entry under REO 9. The same applies to the PhD candidates and their dissertations. One line for each, because you must specify the title and the gender of the authors. The research achievements you include here must be a product of the project.
Do you make a distinction here between research by the staff and research by the students?
No, as long as the research is an achievement of the project. Use your common sense.
In the sheet here we see examples of achievements in the research component. The infrastructure sheet used to be called investments and has been considerably simplified.
Yes, in the early achievement annexes we used to have long lists of equipment here.
Now we only refer to units of infrastructure. For example, INO3 can be a skills lab purchased or substantially improved by the project.
What if the project has bought 2 boxes of books and 6 computers?
Well, is that substantial? I think we can agree it's not substantial. Again, common sense is very crucial. This sheet will therefore be very short.
What about a management information system? Which category is that?
This is recorded in the next sheet under management.
And what about the long lists of equipment in some of the earlier achievement annexes? What should partners do?
Yes, well, we strongly recommend that you regroup your list of equipment into units. If not, NUFIC will regroup on your behalf.
Please note, this sheet is not about project management. It is about improved management in general at the requesting organization.
These are all the categories that you may choose from, quite straightforward.
These are management achievements. There is no training in this sheet. Trainings to the managerial staff must be listed in the sheet for staff training.
Here we see some examples of achievements in the management. This is the sheet for one of the cross-cutting themes of niche, gender. What is special here is the categories GE09, GE10 and GE11.
GE09, women in the organization who followed leadership training, will overlap with information already listed in the staff training sheet, right?
You're right. Now, GE10 is special because here you must submit data for the whole organization, not only for the unit concerned by the project.
Why is that?
Well, we want to be able to follow the trends of female employment over the years of the project at our requesting organizations.
So for each year, you must fill in a new line with adjusted numbers?
Precisely. This concerns also GE11, the number of women in the project management team at the requesting organization. Let's demonstrate with some examples of achievements.
This sheet collects data about the second cross-cutting theme of niche, responsiveness to the needs of the labor market.
Here we make a distinction between, on the one hand, the private commercial sector and, on the other hand, the public sector and NGOs. In LAO1, you should list all the private sector organizations, companies, chambers of commerce, etc., which contribute to the project and its outputs on a formal and regular basis.
Also Dutch and other international companies?
Certainly, if this is the case. In LAO2, you list the stakeholders and organizations from the public and NGO sector which contribute to the project and its outputs on a formal and regular basis.
By contribute, we mean that these companies or organizations may, for instance, help with curriculum development or offer internships, or they may need studies or reports.
In LAO3 and LAO4, you will list the number of graduates who enter the labor market during the project. LAO3 is for salaried employment, public, NGO or private. LAO4 is for entrepreneurs who set up their own companies.
Many projects end before the graduates enter the labor market, so this information will not be available.
Indeed, but many projects aim to set up short programs or courses. In that case, it's relevant to keep track of what happens to the graduates.
Women as well as men.
Here we see an example of achievements for the labor market.
We hope that this tutorial has been useful and that you have understood what information to fill out, where and why.
We thank you for your efforts, and we will regularly publish pie charts of aggregated achievements on our website,
so that you can see how your project contributes to the bigger picture of the niche program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.